the economy. We'll look at the players of the economy. We'll look at the relevant issues around our economy and how we can make our lives better as a nation, and also our relationship with other partners and nations. Today, I told you that I will be hosting the British Deputy High Commissioner, DHC, in Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm happy to inform you that he's already here in the studio, and together we'll be taking a look at some of the issues around our economy, Nigeria-UK relations, and the things surrounding this relationship, economy, trade, COVID-19 that has changed our lifestyle today, and we'll look at different issues surrounding this one. So once again, welcome. Let's take this journey together. I'm Oluwaseun, and I thank you so much for listening. Let me say from the outset that we are streaming live on Facebook and our social media platforms. So you can join us on Twitter, on Facebook. On Twitter, we are at Splash FM 1055, at Splash FM 1055. On Facebook, Splash FM 105.5. That's where we are on Facebook. So you can join us live, and you'll be able to see the Deputy High Commissioner right here with me in the studio. And we've been together for about 6-7 minutes now. We've been talking upstairs there, so he's right here. Ben Llewellyn Jones is an experienced diplomat who has worked in different parts of the world, including Nigeria, earlier in his career. He'll be supporting all the UK priorities in Nigeria, but in particular economic development, trade, and investment. So you'll agree with me, he's a suitable guest for today. Right, previously he worked at the British High Commission in Abuja in the role of political counsellor from July 2014 to July 2017. He was most recently Deputy High Commissioner to South Africa from August 2017 to August 2020. He also worked as the British High Commissioner to Rwanda and non-resident ambassador to Burundi from 2011 to 2014. So, Mr. Llewellyn Jones, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much indeed. It's great to be with you.
Great to have you right here. I will be starting off from a specific point that I saw. To mark your arrival, you said it's great to be back in Nigeria. You said you're very excited about your new role. You thoroughly enjoyed your 3 years in Abuja. You know that Lagos will be a fantastic place to live and work. And you said you're looking forward to reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and doing all you can to support trade, investment, and development in Nigeria. Tell me, how has it been in Lagos?
It's been great. It's been fantastic. I mean, it's great to see. I lived in Abuja for 3 years. That was great fun. I travelled around 26 states in Nigeria, so I got outside of Abuja too. But I didn't spend so much time then in Lagos. So to see Nigeria from Lagos has been really exciting. It's a very different way of looking at Nigeria. My role now is to connect with the business community and also to encourage economic development across Nigeria. So this is why I'm up here in Oyo State, but also traveling more widely as well. And it's really to make sure that we kind of maximize the potential, the economic potential and benefit of Nigeria, and to bring new investment in. I'm really keen to bring new investment in, British investment particularly, of course, but investment across the board. So it's been exciting. It's been fun. Lagos never sleeps, which is good. And to be honest, Ibadan's been fun the last couple of days, just to see how much fun and different vibe, different kind of feel, but a really, really interesting one and one I'm really enjoying.
Okay, so I'll be talking about Ibadan, but before we finish the program, there's something I would like you to do in Ibadan before you leave.
Okay.
All right, but let's go to prosperity, economy, and development generally. When you also said that you're looking forward to bringing investment here, I know that you said the Africa Investment Conference that happened in January, the previous one you said you brought in, we had about £364 million deal in Nigeria. Part of it is the Light Up Lagos.
Yes.
So tell me really, how is UK supporting economic development in Nigeria specifically?
That's right. Well, so that's an example of where British business has come to Lagos. But I mean, beyond that, and the Africa investment, we had a summit last year. Feels a long time ago now, doesn't it? We followed up with a conference this year. COVID has kind of hit everyone in between, but we're really keen to try and bring more investments in. So in the energy sector, for example, Conexa, British energy firm, has been working across Nigeria, and I was there talking to Ibadan Disco yesterday about the potential for another deal there. They signed an MOU with the Ogun governor, state governor, and I think the deal would be to look at how the Ibadan Disco and they connect and how they generate power. Also, another deal we're hoping to bring in is related to that around metering. Obviously, it's very difficult at the moment for energy companies to properly meter, properly charge, properly recoup costs, but I think if we can do that, and British company Steamaco is really keen to come into the Nigerian market, and I think would add real value And I think these are the kinds of investments that make a difference. They create jobs, which is really, really important. They help make the economy more bankable in itself. Some of these sectors, the energy sector, needs to be more bankable, so more investment can come. And I think they also show the way that actually Nigeria is an economy you can invest in, you should invest in, and I'm keen to show that.
There's agri-tech in the UK. Is there a way agri-tech could help agricultural value chain, particularly in the southwest?
Well, for sure. And I spent last night and this morning at IITA, which is an incredible institute, which is a beneficiary of UK aid, overseas development assistance, but also partnering with UK research institutes in the UK, including universities. And of course, it benefits Oyo State, no doubt, but it's also looking across Nigeria, across Africa. And we ourselves have what we call smart or climate smart agriculture projects, which are helping to develop things like seeds that can create a better yield, that are more climate resistant, helping to also connect agricultural producers with the value chains they can get their product to market. So absolutely, we really, really believe in that. I think the best way of doing that in somewhere like Oyo is to try and bring businesses in that can really invest and make that commercially viable. And in other parts of Nigeria, there's other ways of doing that too, depending on the economic sort of situation. But from our perspective, agri-tech absolutely fundamental to Nigeria, and making agriculture not just a subsistence activity, but a kind of value added.
Yeah, because I'm interested in the value chain part. Exactly. Creating more value chains and making business out of it. Let's look at global Britain and future of UK-Nigeria relations. What are in the offense?
Well, I think UK-Nigeria relations are already very strong, and I think you can look at this in two ways, like historically for sure, but actually, from Lagos, you see the current, you see the music stars who spend time in the UK, you see the football players, the rugby players who are British Nigerian, you see all the cultural connections and all the business connections as well. The Nigerian business people who flip between London and probably New York as well, but certainly London and Lagos, and it's a globalized world now, and I think Nigeria is very much part of that, and the thickness of the UK-Nigeria relationship is very evident in that. I think the future is very bright as well. I think now the UK has exited the EU. It's helped people to look in a different way at the opportunities in emerging economies like Nigeria. So I think it's really important that part of my role is to make Nigeria as competitive a place as possible for people to invest in, because just like other countries, Nigeria is competing for that investment with Ghana, with Kenya, with other parts of Africa. So really helping to work with the federal government, state governments to make Nigeria competitive so that the investment flows to Nigeria. And I was saying in Lagos, a lot of people say, look away. I say, look at Lagos, look at Nigeria and invest. And, we need to make an enabling environment to help with that.
Two things before we leave the economy. FinTech. Are you looking at investment in the FinTech?
Absolutely. And I think, again, that's a really good example of where you've got a really good, innovative British FinTech space and FinTech companies, but also FinTech regulation. Regulation is a big part of this. We need to make it light touch and effective. And we've been working with the Central Bank of Nigeria to try and help see how that can be done, building on experience we have in London, but also then connecting FinTech entrepreneurs to different ways. And I would really like to see, and I know others would too, for example, more mobile money in Nigeria. I think that would be a really big step for Nigeria. I think Nigeria is, on that path, and that's fantastic. But it'd be a massive difference, I think, to so many Nigerians. But I think as well, so many other companies that want to invest in Nigeria would see the benefit of mobile money in terms of how they get paid. So helping to support that kind of financial technology, which has been tested and proven in other parts of Africa, is really important to us too. So lots and lots of British engagement there. But as I say, it's really about bringing in the investors that make these sectors bankable.
Right, you're listening to Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. This Economic Searchlight, and I have the Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos, Ben Llewellyn Jones, in the studio today. You can join us live on Facebook. We're live streaming, and so you can make comments there if you have questions. If you want to also make comments about what we're doing right now, you've got the Facebook for you. And when you get there, make comments, share it, let people around you connect, be able to see what we're doing here, and let's have this time together. Ben Llewellyn Jones, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Let's go into something a bit more different. Before we move to human rights, sports.
Yes,
it's one way to look at the connection between Nigeria and the UK. Have you had the feel of how Nigerians love football and the relationship with the UK?
It's hard to miss that, isn't it? I mean, I know that COVID's kind of impacted live sport and so on, but certainly when you wander around Lagos, you kind of sometimes think, wow, am I in the UK? There's so much interest in Premier League teams.
In Premier League, yes.
Yeah, Liverpool, Manchester United, and the rest. And that's really exciting. I think that's really good. And you've got, some Nigerians playing in the Premier League. You've got some Nigerians who have and really have made their names there. So, I mean, from my perspective, yeah, it's a big part of the connection, and it shows, it's not just about the UK and Nigeria there, but it's about football and sport. Everyone loves sport, don't they? So, yeah, definitely, it's fantastic.
Right, so COVID-19, you said, we all know it has changed the way we live our lives. It has changed how we do business as well, and even human relations. So, I want to start from COVID-19 and UK support. Tell me about it.
So in terms of COVID-19, our support's come in a number of ways. Firstly, we reoriented some of our programs, which were already focusing on health, to try and help with systematic support to states where we were already present. So basically, how can our health support there encourage more reporting of COVID-19, support health workers who are already working there, if you like, get the structures in place that make sure that states were able to respond. We've also had direct support between Public Health England and the federal government. And we've also had, the kind of research and exchange you'd expect between countries around genome sequencing and so on. So it's been in different ways, sort of at state level, federal level, and then at this kind of science-to-science level, which has been really, really important. And I think our support has helped, has made a difference. But I mean, it's a huge challenge, and vaccinations are a big part of the solution as well. And we've been a major contributor to COVAX. I know COVAX is challenged at the moment in terms of vaccine supply, but we really led the way in terms of financial support and publicity for COVAX as a facility. And we're very hopeful that production can be upped soon again, so we can see more vaccinations across Nigeria, but across Africa as well. So all aspects really, and we've got to keep working on this, because it's absolutely true that when it comes to COVID-19, we pretend sometimes it's not with us, but it is with us here. Really. We just need to look at what's happening in India to make sure that we don't want to experience that here in Nigeria.
Are there things we're doing about anti-vaxxers?
Well, look, we, for example, have been encouraging education to try and ensure people understand the risks around vaccination. I mean, and really to bring people with the vaccination program. I think that's really, really important. It's true in the UK, it's true in Nigeria. And people have reasonable questions, of course they do, around the risks of vaccination. But, I think those questions can also be answered reasonably. And I think many of the risks that people identify are severely outweighed by the risk of COVID itself. Blood clotting is a good example. The risk of a blood clot from a vaccination is much lower than the risk you might experience of blood clotting if you get COVID-19. So, I encourage people to be vaccinated. Of course, understand the risks. Of course, get the best advice. But vaccination is definitely the way ahead. Okay,
is the way to go.
I think so. I definitely think so. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come to politics and governance. And I'm interested in looking at UK, the understanding about corruption and governance in Nigeria. Recently, there was a repatriation of some money from the UK to Nigeria. Tell me, what's the perspective you've got about corruption, about governance in Nigeria?
So, I mean, I think every country's on a journey, and it's not, it's true that every country has to deal with corruption. I think any country that says we have no corruption is lying to itself. So I think it's important to acknowledge that. I think for Nigeria, I think the return of assets that have been stolen is a really important signal, not just of our intent, but that people who steal will not be able to keep those stolen assets, will not be able to benefit from them. And we've been working closely with Nigerian authorities, not just around that return, but also around other potential returns, but also around prosecutions here in Nigeria. And I think it is really important. I mean, I do feel that for the ordinary person who lives in Nigeria, they're dealing with corruption at many levels all the time, whether it be a small dash here or something else. And actually, if we can try and reduce and eliminate that, it changes really what's possible in terms of their financial situation, of course, but also in terms of things like promotion by merit, ensuring institutions are strong, ensuring people can fulfill their potential, and it unleashes the economy in a way that otherwise we're not going to see. So it's a huge part, I think, of addressing governance in Nigeria, dealing with corruption. It's a very difficult thing to do. If you fight corruption fights back. Of course it does, but that doesn't mean you don't stop. You need to keep going.
Keep fighting.
And it's a tough thing to do.
Insecurity is also one very big topic that people talk about globally. also in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What's your perspective about insecurity? You've been moving around Nigeria.
I have. I mean, I think it's definitely it's a very real challenge now. And I think, talking to colleagues and friends and contacts here in Ibadan, but also across Nigeria, you realise people are very, very worried about this now. So, I mean, I think our perspective on that is, look, we need the institutions that are there to enforce law and order to do so, but we also need dialogue, to be honest, with some of the people who are angry, who are concerned, who are part of the insecurity challenge at the moment, to try and address some of those issues. And I think I know we've seen some challenges between herders and farmers and so on. And I think those issues are resolved through a mixture of approaches, community dialogue and so on. So I think it's important. It's really important to acknowledge it as an issue. I think those that say insecurity in Nigeria is overstated, I think they need to reflect as well upon how real people are feeling right now, whether crops are being planted in parts of Nigeria where they were planted before but can't be now, what that's doing to food security and so on. But we're committed to working with the authorities to try and help address these issues through training, through support, through some of the overseas development assistance programs we have. But it's really important we do address this because it's having a very real impact on people's lives.
I love something you mentioned, community engagement. To what extent can that be effective?
I think it can be effective. I mean, I know that there are elections here in Oyo tomorrow, for example. Yeah. I think it's really important to sensitise communities to the potential for flashpoints around violence, the alternative ways of dealing with conflict resolution, which is preventative in a way, to say, look, these issues coming up, we know that, let's talk about how we handle them. I definitely think that's really important. Of course, not every issue can be dealt with that way, and criminality needs to be dealt with as criminality, and I'm not suggesting otherwise. But I think where it comes to some of these longer term systemic issues of conflict in Nigeria, dialogue is important. And I think through faith-based leaders, through community groups, through traditional leaders, and indeed through government, that there are different ways of engaging the community to try and discuss solutions and try and resolve those conflicts. So definitely important.
Right. It's still economic searchlight, and we're moving a bit away from economy, but looking at girls' education this time, what is UK's perspective or thoughts about girls' education, particularly in Nigeria?
Well, it's paramount. With Kenya, the UK will be hosting a Girls' Education Summit later this year, and I think it's part of our commitment to bringing people together to fund girls' education, but also I think to acknowledge just the impact that COVID-19 has had on education, and particularly girls in education. I think when we look at some of the statistics around birth rate, for example, we know that women who are who spend 12 years in education, perhaps longer, are better able to make choices around family planning, better able to make choices around contraception, and better able to support families thereafter. So it makes a massive difference to every part of their lives thereafter, and a massive difference to their ability to be independent and to contribute to the economy themselves. So it's a big thing. And I think in Nigeria, again, huge strides have been made to help people and to help girls to stay in education, but more that needs to be done, and we're keen to do that.
Before we leave that part, could you give me specific support programs for girls' education in Nigeria?
Yes, so we've got some programs which are looking at access to contraception in the north of Nigeria, which has been it's been a really, really big part, or family planning at least. It's been a really, really big part of our work, working in 5 target states. That's been it's ongoing. It's been effective. We've also got programs that look at education more generally, particularly across the north of Nigeria, which are benefiting women, which have been again hugely effective and reaching as many beneficiaries as you can, particularly during this period of COVID-19. And we've also been doing work to support, if you like, digital access, which is very important during COVID-19 because so many people are having to access education and the economy through the digital space now, and many just don't have experience of that. So our digital access program is particularly targeted women, young women, to try and help them to be part of that. So lots of work that we have done, lots of work we'd like to do, but really it's a global effort, and I think it's really, really important. I think Nigeria has some really totemic flag bearers for this. Even just over here, we've got Otunkosi, Llewellyn, but there are others too. Amina Mohammed, I think, too, at the UN Deputy Secretary General, who are examples not just of successful women, but
Mohammed,
but people who are pushing this agenda quite rightly and showing both what they've achieved, but also what's possible for others and the need within Nigeria for that.
Okay, before, listen, as I was going to tell you something about what you do in Ibadan before.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting there, but I want to talk about human rights in Nigeria today. What is the UK's stance on human rights situation we are seeing in Nigeria, particularly in the past few months?
Yeah, so I think again, I mean, human rights is best sort of looked at through the prism of people's experience of life in Nigeria, and I think, to a large degree, where there have been challenges, the authorities have tried to address them, but quite clearly there are issues, and as part of our work with the Nigerian authorities, it's to try and make sure that law enforcement authorities act in a compliant way, and we've worked to do training with the police, with the military around human rights compliance, but also that people understand and have faith in and trust in those institutions as well. But look, I mean, I think we speak out where we see human rights grievances. We do that sensibly, but we do that in a way that we hope encourages change. We speak out to support people who are victims of human rights abuses, and I think that's really, really important. And we do so to highlight the need for more and more action. I mean, just in Lagos, we've been supporting the Mirabel Centre, which is helping victims of sexual violence and abuse. And, I think institutions like that show what's possible, but also highlight the scale of some of the challenge that faced, particularly by women, but not just by women, across Nigeria. So very real challenges around human rights, but, the right way to address them is to keep working to address them.
Brexit is something you've just gone through right now in the UK. Are there opportunities for Nigerians or for Nigeria as a nation in terms of your new experience as you exited the European Union?
Absolutely. And I think, we have a very strong trading relationship with Nigeria anyway. I think it's the second largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa, significant investment, companies that have been here for, over 100 years in many cases, and that are working, with the grain of the Nigerian economy to support jobs and to support growth. So that's fantastic. But Brexit provides an opportunity for them, but also for new investors to think about Nigeria and to consider where the future lies. And I think, very often people talk about the challenges of business in Nigeria, and they're right to talk about those. But I think an economy with something like 200 million potential consumers is one you can't ignore if you're engaging in Africa. So I think it's really important we help people to understand those opportunities and then to access them. And I think that's where our work with the federal government to make Nigeria as competitive a place as possible to attract investments key. Okay,
so I wish you all the best in Nigeria.
Thank you.
So you're here. You are in Ibadan right now. That's where I'm going because I have 2 minutes to round off this discussion. You're in Ibadan right now. You've been to IITA, you said. Are there other places you want to visit before you leave Ibadan?
Well, you give me some advice. I mean, I'd love to see as much as I can. I think just spending time in Ibadan is great. The feel, the culture, and so on. From my perspective, it won't be the last time I come. I'd love to go to the university, see some. I know it's not open today, but see some people there and so on. But yeah, what's your advice?
I will tell you. But before then, the cuisine. The kind of food you've taken when you came to Ibadan. There is this thing that you need to eat in Ibadan.
Okay.
They call it amala.
Amala. Okay.
Yeah.
Amala.
Yeah. Say amala.
Amala.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
So and you need to eat amala before you leave Ibadan.
All right. We'll make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So try that.
I will.
That'd be my recommendation for you.
Okay.
You can also visit if you climb the cocoa house. You can see the.
I'm going there today actually. So
good. So if you visit the cocoa house, just get to maybe the topmost floor.
Right.
That you'll be able to see Ibadan really very well.
That would be good. Yeah. Well, I didn't yesterday, but I know about the sort of jollof rice challenge between Nigeria and other parts of West Africa.
You want to do the challenge?
Well, I think I'm part of the challenge. I keep telling all my friends in Ghana that they have good rice, but it's not as good. That's the problem. So we'll see what they say to that. But Amala, I'll give it a go.
Give it a go. All right, so I'd like to thank you for coming on the program. We appreciate British High Commission for this relationship, and we look forward to more on this part. So your last take coming this way.
Well, it's been fantastic to be here just for the time I've had. I'm definitely coming back, and just really appreciate the time to speak to you and to your listeners, and learn more about Ibadan. So any thoughts, any advice on social media on what I should get to do in Ibadan, please let me know.
All right, so been happy to host Ben Llewellyn Jones, Deputy High Commissioner for British Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos. Thank you for being here. We appreciate every moment you spend here, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
That's it on Economic Searchlight, and I thank you all for listening to us. Many thanks to Tunde Olawuwo, who facilitated this one. And thank you, Desmond Adegwega, for being available assistance to me today, and everyone who's been here. I'm Oluwaseun. Thank you, and have a wonderful Friday.
We educate.